Okay, welcome back to the podcast. Yes. Hey, y'all. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Button up the top of the morning to ya.
When this gets out, it could
be
like
like
a
Tuesday,
Monday.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Could be whatever day. So happy whatever day to you.
Happy whatever day. Happy whatever day. Praise Bizzle.
It's Sunday for us, and it's early in the morning. Welcome back to Talking Fools, just two average. And I mean, average girls taking their phone calls to the podcast.
Yeah. Welcome.
Y'all.
It's a little bit nippy here in New England
I don't
today.
know what's going on. So, first, when we first walked into this spot, we walked in and we said, shit, it's cold. Then my brother turned down the heat.
Oh, he turned it
So
on.
It was really cold. But then he must have turned it back on again. And then, because I ain't fucking with the heat. And then he must have turned it down again. And
it's a little nippy.
But the way I look at it is never needed much.
Hashtag never needed
much.
Hashtag
never needed much. So
never needed much.
Here we are freezing our baguettes off.
And some other things.
It's chilly, but that's okay because we're here.
We're here with you guys.
We're like, we have got to podcast early in the morning before anybody's up, because if people know we're here and they see us here, they're coming in. How you doing? Stopping in, shaking our hand. Doing? How's everything? We're, you know, so we have got to get podcasts out of the way, because the only way this thing grows is if we put out the fucking content.
Yeah, because you guys love the content. I mean, we got to do it and then get some sort of a sign. Yeah, I mean, we love having the visitors. It's fire, but
I think it's an absolute gem.
Yeah.
We're testing longer content. So what we're going to do is put out a longer video once a week and then highlight that a little bit more. So we're going to go to weekly, right? And see how that goes. If you have any feedback, let us know. So instead of our episodes being 20 minutes, they'll now be 45 minutes.
Or like one or two, right? 1 or 2 a week.
We could do 1 or 2 a week.
Yeah.
Let's do 2 a week.
Yeah, let's do 2 a week. We'll do 2.
She knows what I like. 1 a week almost felt too much. Like, I can't go a week without talking to you guys. This is so fucking weird.
Yeah.
But this truly is like,
we're trying to adjust it to figure out, what works best for you guys.
But maybe like two per week, 2 45-minute per week, right? We'll post on like a Monday and then a Thursday. Something like that. We'll get on a good schedule. But needless to say, we ain't going nowhere. And neither's our content. We're just getting started.
We're here.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, we're here.
But we were going through our list. Shaba was doing a little housekeeping. And we have a notes that we share. And we just keep ideas. And if we have any that we just add to it, which is great. It's worked out awesome.
Yeah.
So you went through that. And then we added a couple. We were shooting the shit about it. So this was one that I love this.
Yeah.
I wish there was Enya playing in the background.
What is it called?
Enya.
Oh, yeah. I remember Enya.
You know.
Man, you bring it in.
I'm just saying, like, Enya would be like, or Pure Moods. That was an awesome soundtrack. If you're a millennial kid, you fucking remember that.
Enya.
You remember that Pure Mood soundtrack, that the CD that you, and it started off like this. Exactly. Pure Moods, now available on a 2-disc set. For 3 payments of $12.99, you can own Pure Moods.
I want to find that one we're talking about, though.
Type in Pure Mood soundtrack. What are you on?
Spotify.
Oh, but do Pure Mood soundtrack. If we got the whole Pure Mood soundtrack to play while we're talking to you, trust me, like, my inner 13-year-old self coming out.
Oh, there's a lot, bro.
It's
like 1994 release.
Yes, that one. 1994, I was 8 years old. Yep. Bro, I got you. That's it right there. One of the best. Can I just show that? Can I see your phone, bro? Thanks, bro. Y'all remember this shit. shine.
Wow, this is bringing it back.
Feeling the sun. Oh, let's just get to the chorus and then we'll turn it down, okay? We're afraid to be free. Afraid to be strong.
I'm looking at the words. I'm cheating.
Fill your heart, my friend. That will be the return to yourself. The return to innocence. I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I.
Return to innocence. Don't hide in your destiny.
People say we're done. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to patch in the. Oh God,
God, that was.
I hope if you're listening to the podcast and you don't follow us on social media, I really need you to go over to social media so you can see the clip of this.
See what we're doing.
You're hearing something, but you're not seeing it. Like,
and seeing is believing.
Yo, can I just be honest with you for 1 second, please?
What?
that particular part where I kind of took the lead there. Wow. It was a really overpowering moment. Like, I almost want to cry. I'm not even joking. Like, I have tears in my eyes. Like, I'm weirdly, like, emotional like that. But why am I getting emotional? So weird, dude. Okay. I'm crying, but I'm smiling. Okay. I have tears because, let me... when you're trying to be when you're trying to have an emotional moment, but your friends making fun of you is pretty much what is going on here.
I am the worst.
It's
I am the worst at emotional moment. I am the worst.
I'm not really crying. It's actually, I'm laughing so hard that I feel like I could cry though.
No, but I am the worst when people are having emotional moments. I just sit there and I just start laughing.
Like that part right there, that doesn't get you emotional.
No.
Like that Indian, no. That Native American doesn't get you emotional. Like, I'm sorry, I'm weird.
It's a beautiful part of the song.
It is, but when I sang it, I almost feel like, Shabba, what are you doing right now? Could you just fucking sit down? This girl twitches more than anyone. I want to give her an overdose of magnesium. She's just okay.
It's not twitching, bro. It's called fidgeting.
You're fidgets. You need a fidget spinner.
I have to get comfortable. No, I have to get comfortable.
Take all the time you need.
Thank you. Is that okay?
Yes. Fine, bro. Man, Jody Boulevard. But anyways.
Oh, God.
So we were talking about...
I'm sorry for laughing.
A lot has just happened. Very overstimulated.
Sorry.
Do not ever put me with her. Ever. When something serious...
Yeah.
We can listen to the whole episode,
We could.
This
is a vibe.
Yeah, I love it. I love pure moods.
No, this is definitely a vibe. Yeah, don't put us together in serious situations. Do not, in situations where people, are having emotions, I am the worst person to put there.
The worst.
I will have a straight face the whole time and just be thinking about something else.
Speaking of one bad time where we should not have been together, one of many.
Is bad.
I did get an update that the funeral home, I think, has new chairs there. Oh.
Remember the time where we went to hide in the bathroom?
What bathroom?
During the reception.
And?
Well, I can't say, but yeah.
Dude. Okay. But there at that reception, I'm telling you what, there was some just weird things.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
So there was too much.
So we went to hide. We went to go.
We literally, there
was
so much going on, and I will not even say.
Yeah, we won't do that.
So, because we cool like that.
I think there's only one or two other people that know.
We don't fuck with.
What was going on. Yeah.
One thing I'll tell you right now, I'll save y'all some time. If you're here to listen to our podcast to think if we talk shit about people, especially people that we know.
Yeah, we're not about that life.
You'll never catch us doing that.
Yeah, we're not about that life. We don't talk about people.
You might as well just skip now because it's really boring if you think you're going to get anything.
Not about that life.
That's one thing about us. Like, that's like the reason why I appreciate your friendship so much.
Thanks,
is because it's not based on like
gossip.
We ain't gossip, folks.
Same.
Not here on Jody Boulevard. When you come here, like, let's talk about ideas. Let's talk about forward thinking.
Let's talk about building each other up.
Yeah, let's have fun. Let's not be
build
like
people up. Let's build people up. Let's
it's not
talk about them.
Like, we're not here. It's like not a cult. It's like we're not doing like yoga and shit either.
I mean, I do want to do yoga. I'm nervous.
Well, fun fact. The episode that I accidentally never freaking recorded was the episode that I was telling you guys about, which was this recent episode, was this recent thing where I did yoga. It's called flow yoga. You're like in what did I say? It's almost like a hammock style, like, I don't know, silk. And you use that to do different poses and, to balance yourself and stuff that's absolutely amazing. Listen to me. Yoga is one of the hardest things that it's so good for you. It opens up everything, Shaba. Like, sometimes these poses where you hold a lot of emotion in your hips and shit, like, you do these poses and like you can release so much of what you're carrying. And I'm not even joking about that because like I know people that do a lot of yoga and how can I? Like, how can I continue?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like, it makes me feel weird that you're like laughing and did I do something wrong?
No. Like, you were very passionate about it. I loved it.
Oh, welcome to the Two Talking Fools podcast where.
No, go ahead, buddy. No, but you were saying like you just release the emotions. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Listeners, I'm sorry.
There's a lot of people that do yoga that listen to us, and they're going to think that you're laughing at them.
I would not. No, listen, I have nothing.
So what are you laughing at?
I have nothing but respect for people that do yoga. I've tried it a couple times myself. I would like to try it again. It's just, I don't know. I just like, I felt it. And that was the reaction.
So let's get this straight. I start accidentally crying on the podcast weirdly because the Pure Moods soundtrack means a lot to people that are our age. She doesn't, as far as I'm concerned, she's artificial intelligence anyway. But like, there's people, I know who you are. We love this album. It brings back memories.
For sure.
I got a little teary-eyed and then you started laughing at me. Then I was talking about how I just did this silk, smooth, soft yoga. I had a terrible time with it.
I remember.
Of course you do. Nobody else remembers because that was the episode that we deleted.
I was proud of you. You should post that. You should post the clip.
I had to delete them because we needed space for our podcast.
No. I know, but there was the clip when you like were. I think that was awesome. All joking aside, you know how I get. I love that. I love that about you, bro. I love that.
The problem that I had was, as we were talking about, God, I would hate that I've been talking about my fupa in two different episodes, so I can't remember because we talk so freaking much. But if you carry a lot of like stomach fat, like I feel like you have to work on your core to really appreciate this yoga. So I'm going to work on that a little bit. But what I want to do is I just want to get into basic yoga because just on the floor, the basic like downward dog, tree, shit like that.
Okay. I think I just need to say it. So I wasn't going to say this, but when I think of yoga, when I hear yoga, right, and the downward dog and stuff like that, I think a lot of me laughing is a projection. And the reason why I think it's a projection is because I keep thinking, like, I would love nothing more than to try yoga, but I worry that, like,
yes, Shelby, you could fart. I'm very worried about you farting.
That's what I'm thinking about.
I have to say something. The other night we got to laughing. Remember # rewrite history?
Was this when Jess was here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You remember?
Mm-hmm.
So Justine, she was over her parents, okay? And she posted this photo on Facebook and she said something like me. And it was so cute. So
it was like the cutest photo.
Justine was probably 12, 13, 12, 10.
Something like that.
And her sister was like little, like 2, 3, right?
Something like that.
Fine. And so Justine, and she posted it on Facebook and she wrote, like, oh, me and my baby sister, blah, blah, blah. And Justine asked my sister-in-law, she goes, wow, like what, where were we for this photo where I had this dress on?
Yeah.
It was an adorable photo. Listen, the stuff that Hallmark writes cards about, honest to God.
Yeah.
So Phyllis goes, Justine's mother goes, you were getting ready for the father-daughter dance. Justine, I think Justine said something like, huh? Like,
that never, like, we never went to a father-daughter
We
dance.
never went to a father-daughter dance. And then I'm like, yep, there's your mama trying to rewrite history.
Hashtag rewrite history.
Rewrite history, bro. It was so funny.
Dude, oh my God, that's great. That's great. That's great. Well, sorry, go ahead.
But, I want to, something that I talk about with others, if this, comes up, is you look at the different generations and you look at today's generation, fathers, very heavily involved. Everything is very equal. You know what I'm saying? More than ever.
Oh, for sure.
You get, my father, who was born in 1937. Okay. God rest his soul. His generation, and he had me late in life. So I was raised by the silent generation, the greatest generation. So we're missing a generation there. But my dad, it's not like my dad was at every softball game I ever had. He wasn't. In fact, I don't know if my dad ever went to a softball game. I remember my dad going to a couple of my basketball games when I was younger. But regardless, that didn't mean that he loved me, or that didn't mean that he didn't love me. It's just in our house, the way our house was set up is my dad worked and my mom was a homemaker, full-time job, and what a job she did, like amazing, and so she was the one, like, she would obviously be there and she was at every game and whatever. And I think that's the sacrifice that at that time, my parents, did. And it didn't bother me at all. I never once was upset that my dad wasn't at, any game or anything like that. But now it's very different, but I just thought that was interesting.
No, for sure. For sure. I love that.
Because I don't want to sit here and like make it seem like, back in our day, like I didn't go to a father-daughter dance with my dad. Like I still think, I know he loved me very much and I love him. So, we put so much emphasis on this stuff. I don't know why I'm going off on this weird tangent, but, I see like a lot of the father-daughter dances at school and things like that.
Maybe that's what it was, because there were a lot of photos that popped up because there was a father-daughter dance last night. Maybe that's what it was.
I love that stuff. I do.
For sure.
But, it also, there's
sweet.
a part of me,
I think it's sweet.
I wouldn't be like, but I feel bad too. Sometimes these things put emphasis when families are, maybe they don't look like cookie cutter, and so I know, listen, it's not that you stop doing these events. I'm not saying that because I don't feel that way. I'm just saying that because I can see and feel everything, but I also feel bad for the people that puts a little bit of pressure on, especially the kids, if they're talking about it at school. Maybe they don't have a dad at home, but maybe they have a great grandpa or an uncle and whatever. So, it's sad, like I understand you have the event, you cannot mold things around every person.
No, I hear you.
That's deep. Sad a little bit.
No, I hear you. No, I hear you, buddy. Because I think back and, coming from a single mother household, and my mom always had to work. She always worked. She was always working. She did the best she could,
Yeah.
She did the best she could. I have to say, though, I was blessed to not miss out on any of those things because I had uncles that were and still are very active. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, so they were always there for the father type events. As a matter of fact, I remember there was this dance in 8th grade. Oh my God. And they needed chaperones. And I remember all the ladies in the office at the time, they were in love with my Uncle Bentley because he used to work with at-risk youth. And so some of his clients were going to my school, and he would stop in, and I remember he signed up to chaperone. Well, guess what? My Uncle Ty signed up to chaperone too. And they were both arguing who was going to chaperone this dance. So like at this dance, I had two of my uncles there, which was awkward enough.
I love that. Like,
because they're watching like every move that I make. And like,
you're happy they're there, but damn it, you're almost
they're cramping my style.
Yeah.
I had to a couple times like dodge to be able to dance with like a guy because, oh my goodness, my uncles were there. But yeah, I remember a lot of the time, you know, unfortunately not having parents that were there for things, but on the flip side, you know, my uncles were. So I was very, very,
blessed.
I was very blessed. And then even in high school, you know, they couldn't go to like everything, but the things that really mattered, my uncles were there for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because my mom couldn't.
I think I think it's really important to show all sides of it because society pushes so heavily on what the cookie cutter family looks like. But so many of us do not have cookie cutter families, and there's just different things, and that's okay. Just because there's emphasis on cookie cutter, it's only because that's the baseline.
For sure. But I think it also, you know, it also goes back to it takes a village, right? It takes a village.
100%.
And, you know, we have to be mindful of those that, you know, don't have, like you said, that don't have that cookie cutter because you don't really know. And I'm sure the kids are talking and they're super excited for these things and they have every right to be. You know, it's like, you know, it's super exciting. But then, like you said, you think about the ones that, you know, maybe don't have that and you're like, I wonder. And you know, you might have some kids that unfortunately they don't even have those uncles, you know?
Right.
They just don't have that. And I do feel for them. But that's a great segue into the topic of today that we were going to talk about, right?
Yeah.
And what did we say? We said if we had any advice what advice would we give to our younger selves?
What advice would we give to our younger selves?
What advice would we give to our younger selves? That's deep. There's a lot that I would say to my younger self. There's a lot that I would say to younger Shayna. I would say disappointment is a part of life. Disappointment's a part of life. It's all in how you handle the disappointment. I would also tell young Shayna to stay focused. And when I say stay focused, there are a lot of things in life, and there are a lot of things that happen that try to steer you away from your goals. A lot of people that steer you away from goals, you have to maintain focus. I would also tell little Shayna that as scary as it is being a parent, and at the time little Shayna had no want of wanting to be a parent at all, I would tell her it is the most beautiful gift. Now you can laugh at me. Oh my God, I stopped. I was like, oh shit. Oh, it's happening to me now. Oh my God. Being a parent is the most beautiful gift that will ever happen. And it is absolutely life-changing in the most positive ways. She's laughing right now because I had to pause because then I started getting emotional.
I'm just thinking about the fact that she gets emotional. She gets emotional as Enya's playing.
Oh,
you
man.
are so stupid for making fun of me.
I know, bro. I know. Oh my God. There's a lot I would want to tell myself. I would also want to tell myself that you're going to go through some fucked up shit. You know, you're going to go through some pretty fucked up shit. You're going to see things that you shouldn't have to see. You're going to have to deal with a lot of things you shouldn't have to, but do not ever allow yourself to become a victim of circumstances. And that's everything I would tell little Shayna. Do not be the victim of circumstances. You know? You got this. You will always get this. And you're one of the strongest people I've ever known. That's what I would tell her. Sum it up, you know? That's a lot to tell little Shayna. I think little Shayna would probably look at me and be like, oh my goodness, this lady's crazy. What is she telling me? Why is she telling me all this stuff? What is going on right now? You know? Little Shayna was very sweet, innocent little girl. You know? She was. I'd want to toughen her up a little bit. Just a smidgen. Just, come on, kid. Get some thicker skin. Yeah. You know, I think about this sometime, and then I want to hear what you would tell little Kate. there's times where this is going to sound so weird.
Wanna be a bowler, shot
Shakala.
20-inch blades. Little Kate in the house. Lil. L-I-L.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear what you would tell little Kate. But don't you ever want to like be able to go back if there was a way to like time travel? And I know you're not supposed to, like, when you watch these time travel movies, right? You can't see what you can't interact with your future self, and you can't interact with your past self because you can't change what's supposed to happen in life, right? Like, you're not supposed to like give clues or warn people of things. But I almost would want to like just go and see my younger self and just almost have like a tea or a hot cocoa with her and just kind of do like a check-in,
That'd be
because
amazing.
you can't really tell her. You can't tell her what's going to happen. You can give her advice, but then like, what if you give your younger self advice and then that changes decisions that she makes? You know what I mean?
Right.
But I've always wondered. I've always been like, man, I would love to go. I got to turn this off because this is like, or switch it up because it's kind of, yeah, that one. Oh my goodness, you ever hear a song or a beat or something and you're like, it sounded like a classical version of like a scary movie, like Friday the 13th, but the classical version. That's what it was giving me. But yeah, I'd always want to like go visit and just have a hot tea or a hot cocoa with little Sheena. Yeah. So sweet.
How old would little Shayna be that you'd want to go have a hot cocoa with her?
I'll tell you right now, 10 years old.
Really?
Mm-hmm. 10 years old.
No shit.
Yeah.
10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's when life changed for you.
In a way, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. I would want to go see 10-year-old Shayna.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Not even as a teenager. Shayna as a teenager, she was fine. Shayna, 18, 19, well, no. I think, what was it? 18 to like 21 was a little bit of a wild child. God bless my Uncle Ty and my Aunt Linda. More power to you folks. But Shayna at 10 years old, yeah. Yeah. I would love to go see her.
Yeah, it's such a weird topic because like you said, if you change any part of your life at all, any part of it,
yeah,
then that could have jeopardized. So again, when we're saying this, it's kind of like saying, I'm grateful everything does happen for a reason. You have to get how we got here with our kids, with us, whatever. We had to go through every like weird thing. You look back at 40 years of life and you think about all the mishaps, the misfirings, the joys, the things. I have mistakes in my life I carry because I realize like those mistakes, if I had just listened maybe a little bit more, had a little bit more of maturity to me, I wouldn't have made those mistakes, maybe. But in the end, here we are. But you have to be able to reflect and look at this. Listen, if we're not saying we want to wipe away our children and our lives now or whatever, but you do in life you're going to have things that you're going to look back and say, damn, I could have done better here. I could have done this. I loved how I did this. For the most part, when we're talking about advice I would give give little Kate is listen to yourself in here, because if you listen to this and your intuition, and it's still to this day, we struggle with this. Recently we struggle with this.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Listening to this.
Listening to your
over
intuition.
Everything.
Yeah.
If your intuition, if I could say to little Kay, I'd say, if your intuition doesn't feel 100%, it has got to feel 100% with every move you make in life. If it doesn't feel 100%, then you need to acknowledge that, and you need to figure out what the fuck it is.
For sure.
Had I done that, I would have saved myself a lot of headache. And the other thing too is making decisions quickly, off the cuff.
Oh yeah.
I made one of those that
I did
maybe
too.
a couple in my life if I really process more. But there's always that one in particular. It's like, fuck, Kate, like, had you not just held on and just calmed yourself down, or, you could have seen a future that would have also had been very bright. And that's okay to say that, because I think all life is taking chances. Everything you do, it's a 50% chance either way. You leave this place, you go left, you go right, 50% chance. You go to you choose big Y over this, everything's 50-50 here. And it's kind of luck of the draw. You go one way, you go the other. And I think that immaturity, but again, you're young, the mistakes that I'm talking about I was young. My frontal lobe wasn't even developed. So I would tell little Kate to go easy, to go slow, to really think things through, to calm down a little bit. I would have said that. I was able to travel before I settled down. If little Kate didn't do that, I would go back and I would tell little Kate that you're going to have your whole life, if you're lucky, right? Knock on
Yeah.
wood. If you're lucky, you get to experience all the beautiful things that come with growing, having a family, all that. But I believe that people need to live first. You have your whole life to play house.
For sure.
Just
oh
like
my
these
gosh.
kids,
Absolutely.
just
Oh my
like these kids
goodness,
in
bro.
school.
Can we talk about these kids in school?
And I'll tell you another thing
But I
I
want to
tell my
hear.
daughter all the
Yeah.
time is like, another thing I would tell little Kate is,
Yeah.
do not get into any type of relationship, but you're going to have forever to play house.
So that's what I tell my oldest daughter. Yep.
So get yourself a partner that's a lot of fun, that's good to you.
Yeah.
That's good to you, but allows you to preserve your innocence, your spirit, your will to do things.
And you guys have to have your own independence.
You have to have your own independence.
Yeah.
And I
you
think
can't be reliant on each other.
100% not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Companionship is just part of life. You're
sure.
going to, you get to this age, you want to have that companionship and experience it. Mm-hmm. We did, in high school, I was in a serious relationship. You're young then. And I had a great relation. That was a great situation for me. Couldn't have asked for a better situation. I'll just say that first and foremost. And again, you get yourself somebody who treats you with respect. Respect is everything. So little Kate, whoever you're with, better respect you.
Wow. No, girl, I feel you. I feel you on that for sure. I definitely feel you on that. I hear you though. I love that. I love that. I definitely feel the same way. I think.
And prepare. I think you said that too. I'll leave it with this, but life is going to be difficult. It's so apparent how difficult it is because our parents made shit look too easy, both grieving, loss, sacrifice.
They protected us from a lot.
They protected us so much.
Yeah.
And our generation, we're so nostalgic. We're so soft in a lot of ways because our parents gave us like this great
protection.
And then it's like, and I sit here with you and I sit here with all of you. And I can tell you with the utmost transparency that there are many times in my life that I'm scared to death. I am scared to death. I'm like, holy shit, we're 40 years old and we're supposed to be prepared to do all of these different things. Like there's a lot of things that come in life that happen. And I just feel like I'm so youthful. I'm still that kid.
Right,
and life throws a lot of things at you. And for me, it's, I've had things thrown at me and I try to stay strong and I am strong, but I would tell little Kate, you be prepared. When you have good highs, enjoy them. When the lows, just be hopeful, and because life is a roller coaster, I would say that, and enjoy it. Enjoy it, damn it.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Nobody's watching you like you think. A lot of times we're scared to make moves because we think people are watching us. They're not watching you. People are so consumed with themselves. Life is so busy for everyone that here you are thinking that everybody's thinking about you. They're not. So live your life, because if you don't, you're going to sit here with regrets of not living. Can you imagine, Shaba, not living?
I know. Live your life on your own terms. It's true. It's so true, especially when it comes to playing house. I feel like kids these days, like, especially that like high school age group, like when you said something about like the settling down part, and I'm like, damn, like when I remember back in the day when I was in high school, like you had a boyfriend and stuff like that, but like, you might have a high school suite. I mean, yes, you might have a high school suite or whatever, but like people weren't like trying to play house. And I feel like these kids nowadays, it's like the end all be all. Like they have to be with each other 24/7, and like, and I think I'm like, okay, were we like that? But I don't feel like we were.
I think there were some kids. I do remember there being like couples, especially like when I was a freshman in high school, seeing those upperclassmen.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like they go to school, they drive home, and then they go to each other's houses. and they hang out. Like, where do they hang out? This is the shit literally that I would think about as a freshman. And where do they hang out? Do they hang out in their bedroom? Like, are they allowed to? Weren't these all the things that you were thinking about? Like, when you get to high school, if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, like, for me, I wasn't allowed to have, the person in my room. So we were in the living room while my mom was either cooking or whatever. So it didn't allow you to really like form, you couldn't really communicate. Not all kids want to have conversations in front of their parents either.
Yeah.
It was tricky, not just tricky to hang out and feel.
No, it's true. I was dating, and I say dating very lightly. I was dating a couple of different guys in high school, but like it was like super innocent though. It was like, oh, you want to be my girlfriend? Want to be my boyfriend? Oh, we're girlfriend boyfriend. The guy that I dated my junior year going into my senior year was a year ahead of me, and then he had graduated and went to college. And I remember it was the craziest thing because my mom was the same way. Like, there were no boys in your room. And I remember she thought he was like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And he was great. He was wonderful. A really good guy. Nothing bad to say about him. He was good to me. He was. And I remember he came back to visit. He was going to college here in Connecticut. So it wasn't like he was super far. But of course, like, we couldn't see each other all the time. It was usually on the weekends and stuff like that. And I remember my mom letting him and his college roommate actually stay overnight. And I was like shocked.
Can you imagine?
I was shocked she let him do that. But it was because she liked him. She trusted him. She knew he was a good boy. He was a good boy. Nice family. Everybody, like, we all liked each other and stuff like that. But it wasn't until, I think, was it first serious relationship, I was 19 years old. Like, first serious relationship. Like, and I remember we were together for, I want to say it might have been 2 years. And it got to the point where he wanted it to be like, he wanted us to get married.
Gang,
and
gang,
like
pootie tang.
had like, I mean, when I tell you, like, oh my God, love of my life, like, he was absolutely amazing. And did I think about it? Sure. Did I, like, the thought come to my mind, like, this is the person I could spend the rest of my life with? Like, sure. He was just everything. He was amazing. He was very good to me. He was very good to me, very good to my family. Like, we were head over heels in love with each other. And I don't know what it was. Just something came over me. And I felt like so much pressure that he had our whole life planned out for us. And I panicked. And I told him I didn't think I was ready. And I know that after I had broke things off and I was devastated, he was devastated. And after I broke things off, he did not take it well. Like, I don't mean like in a bad way, but he was like devastated. And it was hard on both of our families because we were together for like 2 years. There's a lot of emotions there. And we still talked in like, whatever after we broke up.
And then whatever.
You know what I'm talking about. And I think that was even more confused. Girl, stop. It was even more confusing. And then we finally had to like agree to it was either we were going to get back together and we were going to do the thing, or that was it. And that was it. I wasn't ready. Then. And you know what ended up happening? Like, I think it was like a year or two later, I ended up dating my now ex-husband. And I say everything happens for a reason. I genuinely mean that, because looking back, things were supposed to happen in order for me to have my daughters. You know what I mean? So that was the gift of what happened in this whole change of life. But, there's still some things where I'm like, I think back and I'm like, wow, definitely life lessons,
100%.
Yeah, definitely life lessons. For sure. But kids these days need to just live their life, not try to rush being an adult.
They're
so
already
quickly.
rushed. Like,
it's way too fast. Like,
they
way too fast.
have too much information to process, too early, too young. We did not have this type of shit. If you remember, like, when Princess Diana died and there was that car crash, or
devastated.
Yeah,
I cried like a baby when Princess Di died.
Remember September 11th? Like, think about things like that. If those things happen now, like, the amount of overwhelming
mental health support needed,
content that
you were saying content. I was thinking mental health services that would be needed. Yeah.
Well, that, but like, No, yes, you're absolutely right. And it just goes into like how much information these young kids have access to,
Mm-hmm.
their FYPs of their TikTok, the stuff that they know about. This is stuff that I'm just sorry, we did not know about it in
We
our
didn't.
youth.
We
Again,
didn't.
remember, I think I went the first 15 years of my life without a cell phone. So, mm,
Really?
yeah,
You said 15 years? Like you were
yeah,
15 years old? Gotcha,
yeah, I
buddy. I
think I
gotcha.
was 15 and I remember in Maine, that's where I would spend my summers. I had my license, I believe, so I think I used my dad's, like, phone, but it was like that was like a newer thing, like, they existed, but
Yeah,
you
I think I was
you
the same
paid by
age
the minute
actually.
and whatnot and
Yeah.
all that, so it was a very different time, but I just worry that these kids, their brains are just being fed too much
Information.
adult
Yeah.
content too soon in their life when they don't have the tools up here, they're not developed to be able to handle this type of information.
Mm-hmm.
So these
For
kids are
sure.
growing. They are so mature. They're just they're different. These kids now are different.
It's a different generation. It's different. Yeah.
They yeah, no wonder they especially these kids that dealt with COVID in school. They're strong kids. Let me tell you something. They that was huge. Like looking back on it now and thank God that again we can look back on that and it's a memory. Thank you Jesus because that was so eye-opening and so detrimental to even my own mental health that I'm like, "Oh my God. That was cruel. That was cruel what happened." Because some people thrive like myself. It's not to say that I'm an extrovert. It's not to say that I crave attention. It's just that I thrive off of human interaction or at least feeling others.
For sure.
Even going to
Yeah,
work,
yeah.
my coworkers, they feel a lot of that, because you spend a lot of time with them. But even us getting together, it's not like I'm asking for attention. It's just that human interaction is so important for us. That's what keeps us all together.
For sure.
So it's like to take that away, cruel, cruel. But anyway, thank God that's a memory. And I
Yeah, for
pray
sure.
every day for the people that didn't get out of it. I pray for every day that people that suffered from mental health stuff because that's crazy.
Yeah.
But these poor kids. So yeah, I think you're right, Shaba. Like go back to locate, stay youthful forever. I think I'm doing a pretty good job of that. I mean, we are almost 40 starting a
We
podcast,
are.
but why not? Right? Because why if we say stay youthful forever, stay young, follow your dreams,
And
this is what it's about.
don't
Don't
live for other people.
don't
Stop
listen.
worrying about what other people think.
Don't listen to the noise. Don't listen
Yeah,
to the noise because people are always going to hate on you.
for
They're
sure.
always people love to hate others. People love to hate on others.
They do.
And I've done it too. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm motherfucking Teresa. I'm not. I
Yeah.
have done it before.
Same.
Immaturely, my Kate in
Same.
her 30s, that girl was different.
Same.
You said something the other day, and I loved it because it was true. You said something about you're not even the same person anymore. And I think that I love that because it is so true. Like we're going in so many different directions, but hear me out.
I think this is very important for our listeners and our viewers to hear.
You cannot deny the fact, especially when you get older and you're more in tune with yourself because you
Mhm.
want to be in tune with yourself. You can see where if you haven't hung out with people in some time,
Mhm.
that sometimes it's not where you pick up where you left off type shit. How can it be? You've changed as an individual. It's almost like your DNA has changed. You cannot relate to like an older Shaba. I cannot relate to older Kate. In fact, I'd look at her and be like, dude, glad that we learned a lot from you because that's not who I want to be. Or in some cases, that girl right there loved her in that I loved her in that form.
I mean, I would love to meet older Shaba. I'd be like, girl, you're a baddie. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. No, you're right though. You're not the same person. You're not the same person that you were. But I look at it like, to me, it's interesting because you know how you were like, we were talking about not worrying about what other people think. I almost feel like sometimes people are disappointed when you have changed. It's almost like you're not the same person you were before. But isn't that, I got to turn this off because I really want us to like focus on this. Isn't that like, isn't that a part of what life's all about besides living? Is that you're supposed to grow, you're supposed to evolve, you're not supposed to stay the same person. Like, who wants to be the same person that they were, a month ago, a year ago, 10 years ago? That doesn't even make any sense to me.
I
know what I
think
mean?
some people, a lot of people,
Like, you're
myself
not the same
included.
person that I used to know, or whatever the case is. I mean, I haven't heard that. I don't think you've heard that. But I'm just saying in general, like when you have interactions with people or you've known people for a certain period of time or whatever the case is, even if you've known people for a short amount of time and they say you've changed, I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing.
Right. You should change.
You
You should
should
be a little bit
change.
different if,
Right. You should be
if
a little bit different, and
whatever that is. It could be
it
anything.
could be
It could
any.
be
Yeah,
anything.
I feel like and I also think part of that is too is like you brought up a good point. You are somebody who likes to be around people. I too like to be around people. We were talking about this at work the other day. I could never be on where I could never work from home.
Ever.
More power to remote employees. And I was speaking to one who was saying she could see herself doing both. I could not. I had an experience last year at work where we worked from home 2 days.
Oh my
The
God,
first
dude. Are
day,
you fucking
yeah,
kidding me?
the first day I was here for it because I was like, ooh, I'm cooking my lunch. Like, it was great. It was awesome. Dude,
She had computer problems the whole time.
the whole freaking time, bro. The second day, I was like, I'm done with this. I'm ready to go back. Send my ass back. Like, I know I couldn't do that because I need that human interaction. But on the flip side, I know that I need time to be by myself. Like, there are times where I enjoy being by myself. I like running errands sometimes, but I love being with my daughters. That's not what I mean. But I mean, there are times where I like to be able to run errands by myself or if I'm home by myself. I'm okay just with time by myself. And I think people need to be okay being by themselves sometimes. You don't always have to be with somebody. You don't always have to be in a relationship. You don't always have to be with your friends. You don't always have to be with your kids. And I say this to say this. The other part of that is I see a lot of people living vicariously through their kids. You see it all the time. And when I say you don't always have to be with somebody, I'm not talking about a married couple. That's not what I mean. I think that there are certain people that in this day and age are still not okay with being by themselves. They're not okay with themselves. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
100%.
Like they don't
We could do
romanticize being by themselves.
we could do a whole episode just on that.
Yeah. But I also see people living through their kids because, maybe their kids are doing things that they maybe weren't able to accomplish or
Right.
Because they are
Oh, you
not
see this
with
all the time.
somebody.
These people are nuts.
Yeah, because they're not with somebody, then everything's about their kids, which it should be, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Like the boy moms or the girl dads, the ones that are like, just to me, I'm like, you need to let your kids breathe. You need to let them breathe. Like,
Let them breathe.
Excuse me. That was kind of gross.
I didn't say breathe that much.
I know. I was like, I'm so sorry. But you need to just like literally let them breathe and just be okay with being by yourself. Like get to know yourself. Take yourself out sometimes. Take yourself out to a restaurant sometimes and go out for lunch or dinner by yourself.
I love going to Barnes and Noble by myself.
Go
and
to the
just
movie
chilling.
theaters once by yourself
I love
and go watch a movie.
I love it.
Yeah.
I could go sit at a bar and eat a lovely meal by myself.
Or even go watch a movie. Like, be okay with being by yourself sometimes. I'm not saying all the time. I can't. And trust me, I'm not like that. But I'm just saying it's okay to enjoy and accept being by yourself sometimes too.
Facts.
And I think that would be another thing going back to what we would tell our younger selves.
Smart.
That it is okay being by yourselves or being by yourself. Because I think at the time she had her whole life planned out. Like younger Shayna had a plan for her life. She was going to go to school. She was going to go to school, study psychology. She wasn't sure if she wanted to get married at the time. She didn't want to get married because she didn't witness, unfortunately, she didn't really see healthy relationships. And then the one healthy relationship that she had seen in her whole entire life, they ended up not working out. So then it was like, healthy relationships don't exist. You know what I mean? And as far as having kids, little Shayna at the time wanted to have a career before that thought even came to mind. But then she was like, no, she didn't want kids. And so she wanted to be focused on her career and she was going to be a career woman and she was going to study psychology and she was going to do all these things. And, she was going to travel and, she did some of that and then made different life choices, and life had changed. And, then still younger Shayna, but talking about myself, ended up disappointed that things didn't happen with the way she had her whole life planned out that it would be. And that's okay. It's okay. It's okay to make wrong decisions, you know? It's okay to make wrong choices. It's okay. But just live your life and enjoy your youth. You know, enjoy your youth while you can.
That's it.
And we thank you for
your greatest asset. Thank you coming to our TED Talk.
I was like, thank you for coming to the Two Talking Fools TED Talk today.
We're at 1 hour.
Okay.
This was a great episode. I really enjoyed this. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for laughing at me. Thank you for laughing at you. And thank you,
guys.
for being the best fans ever. And we love you so much.